It's growing. It's getting taller. That's where that other gravel went. See? See, he's got it all backed up around the edge there and everything. Pretty cool. So, we've made it to Gloucester. We've driven through the town. Now we're at this little bay where all these little boats are parked. We've passed the Gordon's fish place and then about 4 other fish places too that I'm not familiar with. It's really quiet here. It doesn't particularly smell fishy, but it doesn't particularly smell good either. I'm not sure what it is. So we're looking for something to go tour now. Just standing out on one of the piers. Nothing special. I find it kind of strange that there's this big rock right here at the end of the pier. P.O. doesn't seem to think it's odd. Then he doesn't think much is odd. He does think a lot though. Diving locker.
A real treasure here in Gloucester, just walking the docks. No reference to it at all, but I want you to come in and meet Paul Harley. We started diving in 1949. I began in 1963, but he predates me, and he's about 87, I think he said. So let's come on in. Well, this is a real treasure in Gloucester that we just happened to come across.
Good.
Mr. Paul Harley. So if you're in Gloucester, you want to definitely come by and see what we're about to show you. And I thank you, Paul, and we'll leave a donation as we leave.
Wonderful.
Actually, I already put one in there.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you. By the way, this is a DM40K Decor mask. It was one of my favorites in the day. Decor's out of business now. Aquamaster, what is it? Yeah, Aqualon. Pretty much what I started diving with, the yellow hose. It's got a J valve on it, and straps were attached to the tank. So pretty much what I started with. That was a very early buoyancy control device. Not the earliest, but one of the earliest. And panning over here, Catherine. I'd love to just take all those books with me.
He would,
Anyway,
he would.
BC. And so those are very interesting to me. There's where the Squalus was sunk, and it was the first submarine where the submariners were actually recovered using a personnel transfer capsule, and they actually saved all those guys. I think
That's
it was
the red top in the photo. Bottom left is the rescue chamber.
Ah, I see.
And
I think it was
standing-
1939, wasn't it?
1939. I'm
Yeah.
standing beside it.
I'll be darned. That's you standing beside it. Well, I'll be darned. I know. Hey, Kathy, if you would just pan all around very slowly, taking it all in,
Can you?
and then I'll. Some guys got the idea of taking hot water tanks, cutting the bottom lining of them, making them place for your shoulder, attaching weights, pumping air down, and of course you had to stay upright because if you fell over, the air would spill out and you'd have to do an emergency swimming ascent. These are duck feet. They were called duck feet. Well, there's the name on it. There's duck feet on them. One of the early dive fins. Knife like this in the classroom at School Ventures, and all of a sudden it came up missing. A police officer gave me that back in the early 60s. This hard hat diver's boot here weighs, I don't know what this one weighs, but the ones that I wore when I was doing my little hard hat diving, which I didn't do much, weighed 17.5 pounds. The whole suit weighed 185 pounds. I remember it took two tenders to help me stand up. This is interesting because we didn't have a console. Part was from Aquacraft, is a company's out of business now. But we took our depth gauge and wrapped it around our high pressure hose, and then Aquacraft came out with this. So you've got your depth gauge, you've got your Bend-O-Matic, you've got your pressure gauge, you've got a temperature gauge, you've got a compass. So that would be a console. It also had a depth gauge that worked on Boyle's Law, which the deeper you went, the harder it was to read. But that's Healthways, Scuba Pro, Decor. I don't know who that is. But anyway, I know this console was from Aquacraft.
And how would you like to wear a shoe like that you can't even pick up?
17.5 pounds.
Good grief.
This is original Daryl Allen light. That was original Daryl Allen light made by a guy by the name of Daryl Allen. It was a real good light back in the day, and he sold the company. They started making them out of plastic, and the first thing you know, they weren't worth a damn anymore. Someone air in these early hats. That somebody's up here pumping air down to you. And that was pretty common and reliable. A lot of double hose regulators. This is the U.S. Divers Pacifica mask. No, this is a Pacifica had a purge valve, not a purge valve, but a purge valve in it. It was the Atlantis that had didn't have it in there. Part half diver rig, and that weighed about 185 pounds when I dove it. And plenty of air and communication, so it wasn't as bad as you might think. And I think I still have one of these reels right here.
I think you do too.
Yeah, even though it was an antique. And then I think that's pretty much it. But if you get a chance to come to Gloucester, you come down on the riverfront to the diving locker. It's really interesting for an old diver or for a new diver. I think you really enjoy it. Thank you.
I just love the water. Waves lapping in. It's so peaceful.
This is one of the most famous statues, I suppose, in the United States, devoted to the fishermen of those days that go down to sea in ships. And I noticed that over almost 6,000 men have sailed out of here and never come back. It's very poignant, very famous monument to those people that go out to the fisheries.
Hi. Hi. And here we are, gathered once again at the shed project. Joe is going to demonstrate drilling to drive a nail into the railroad tie. For someone, probably not for Joe. Where are you going, Axel? It's Goofus. Don't be you're being a photo bomber. You're being a photo. Oh, he's doing the big one. No wonder he's so tired and so muscular. Daddy's pretty strong, huh?
Oh,
What?
a clock.
Mm-hmm. Watch Daddy. Look how strong he is. He knocks that big nail all the way down in there. Wow. Okay, Poji, it's your turn.
Yeah, I'll be right down.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And my guess is that he's put 2 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That he's done that about 32 times today, maybe? That sound about right? 32 times today? That you've hammered those things in?
This is 24 per row. 48.
48. I didn't even get
50.
50 times he's done that. Oh my gosh. Let's go feed him. Dinner.